Have you ever had something in your body that did not feel completely right, but also did not feel serious enough to stop? It would come and it would go. So you don't really register it. You just move on because nothing stays long enough to make you question it. And life around you is already full. So even if something feels slightly off, it gets pushed aside and you don't even call it any problem because nothing has broken yet. And then one day, it does not stay small anymore. It does not come and go. It just hits, and in that moment, it feels like it came out of nowhere. Hello everyone, I am Aniruddha. I am a second year MBBS student, and this happened at a point where I did not realize how much of what I was feeling that I was not even able to notice. It was not mild discomfort, it was sudden. I remember sitting in the car and something like an electric shock ran through my right knee. It was not just pain, it felt like something inside just lost control for a moment. I did not understand it, but something inside me knew that if it gets worse, everything gets affected. The very next day, I was still moving. I even went outside, everything was normal. But by the evening, I could barely walk, and within 2 days, my right knee had collapsed. And in those 2 days, my body went from reliable to something I could not predict. Weight bearing became painful, standing felt unstable, and walking inside my own house became difficult. And it was not just pain, it was everything attached to it, my movement, my independence, my ability to even manage daily things. And at that point, nothing else in my life was stable either. At first, I thought it was just a strain, something that would settle in a few days. But the pain did not settle. And what made it harder was not just the pain, it was everything around it. I went for treatment, I was given physiotherapy, but only for a short period, just for a few days. And then it stopped. No continuation, no clear plan, no follow up that actually led somewhere. And after that, I was just moving between places, trying to figure out what to do next. Orthopedic visits, basic medicines, simple suggestions, but nothing of those actually addressed what I was going through. And the part that stays with you is not just that help was limited, but that you start realizing you were already handling most of it on your own. And now there is no way around that. For weeks it stayed like that. No clear answer, no direction, just pain and uncertainty. And when something like that happens, you don't just feel injured, you feel stuck. And when you feel stuck for long enough, time does not move normally, it stretches. You stop trying the same way, and slowly you stop expecting things to change. And after weeks of that, MRI was finally planned. But even that did not happen immediately. An appointment was given, but for much later. And when you are in that kind of pain, waiting like that feels very long. So somehow that was shifted earlier. And after some days, I finally got it done. MRI showed something serious, a meniscus tear and a low grade partial ACL tear. In short, my knee had lost its natural stability. And when you finally get a report, you expect that now something will move forward. And finally, this will start making sense. That now there will be a direction. But that did not really happen. It just gave a name for the injury, not a solution. And in that moment, it did not just feel like one problem. It felt familiar, like something I had already been through. And you know what? This was not my first injury. I had already gone through my shoulder surgery around 1.5 years before. And even after surgery, things never fully felt the same. So when my knee gave away, it did not just feel like pain. It felt like my body was collapsing, not in one place, but as a system. But this time, it felt different because earlier, even when things were not right, I could still manage, I could still move, I could still live around it. But this was taking even that away. And somewhere in that phase, I made one thing very clear for myself, that I was not going to rush into another surgery because I had already seen that surgery does not mean resolution. That just because something is done does not mean that it is understood. And this time, I wanted my body to heal, not just fixed, and my life was already in transition. I had just finished my NEET attempt, but the results were not even out yet. I did not know which college I would get or what even was coming next, and somewhere I knew I had to start standing on my own. But in that moment, I could not even rely on my own body. For months, I struggled to walk normally. Even small things started needing planning. I kept going back, trying different things, physiotherapy, consultations, even a chiropractor practitioner, but nothing held. Reports, they did not fully explain the pain. Medications did not resolve it. Some sessions helped a little, but nothing stabilized it. At one point, I even started wondering, is this ever going to get better? And slowly, my posture shifted. I leaned more to one side. I started compensating. And over time, not immediately, but gradually, my body started adapting in ways that created new problems: neck tightness, back strain, and much later, headaches and even dizziness. And slowly, my body stopped feeling like something I could trust. And when that happens, you don't just lose strength, you lose ease. And the hardest part, there was no clear solution. No one had an answer that truly changed anything. But here is what is strange. Even in that state, I kept showing up. There were people around me, but I did not talk about what was really happening. Not the frustration, not the fear, not the helplessness, because I felt no one really understood, and maybe no one was even trying to. And I think that silence made it even heavier, because what is not expressed does not leave. There is something we internalize quietly. You don't want to look weak, you don't want to depend, you don't want to slow down. So instead of asking for deeper support, I endured, not because it was strength, but because I did not know any other way. But endurance without awareness is a slow self neglect. There is a strange phase where you are not recovering, but you are not collapsing either. You are just surviving, showing up, adjusting, managing, enduring, but internally something feels unfinished. At that time, I did not have clarity. I did not have any insight. I had just pain, uncertainty, and no clear direction. And when nothing around you changes, you slowly start shrinking inside. Not because you want to, but because you don't know how to move forward anymore. This was the phase where I was just surviving, not living. And at the same time, I did not know that this was not the lowest point, that something deeper was still ahead. And when you live like that for long enough, you forget what normal even feels like.